Hey, it's Dr. Ruben West here, and I'm excited. I got some great news. I'm here with Dr. Ed Womack. Dr. Ed, welcome.
Welcome, man.
Now, listen. I've got the privilege and the pleasure to interview Dr. Ed Womack with regard to his book. Tell him the name.
Use What's Left.
There it is. Use What's Left. And he talks about the rebound. And so this training is going to be on the rebound. And as I learned the fact that he was going to do a training, I said, Dr. Ed, why don't you let me interview you? Because I want to pull some things out of you. I want to make sure that we go deep into your strategies for creating a rebound.
Absolutely.
And he gave me the privilege to do that. And so because of that, we're going to take the opportunity to break down Use What's Left and show you how to optimize your strategies to create a rebound.
From setback, no matter what it is.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I like that you said when we talked off camera is that you are committed to turning your wounds into workshops.
Turn my wounds into workshops.
And making a difference in other people's lives. And so right now, we're going to break down this workshop of the rebound for you. And so, Ed, let's just go ahead and get right into it.
Let's get at it, man.
Let's talk about the R in Rebound. First of all, tell the viewers what the R in Rebound stands for.
So the R in Rebound is reinvent yourself. And in that process, with those strategies, there's 5 different things that you need to do for yourself. First and foremost, you need to commit that there is an actual situation or problem or issue that needs to be addressed.
Right.
And for a lot of us, that's a little bit difficult. For that person sitting out there,
right?
You know, I pray they didn't have the same experience that I had.
But you know they had some experience.
But they've had some experience.
That's called life. Nobody gets out of it. Yeah.
Nobody gets out unscathed. You know, you either coming out of a situation, going through a situation,
or on your way to it.
So, you know, with that being understood in my journey and my interaction with clients, I said, you know what, I just got to pay it forward. And that's just, I think, the minimal service that I can pay forward. So there's a couple of key steps that I want to suggest that people take in their pursuit of reinventing oneself.
Number one was recognize. All right.
First, you got to recognize that there is an issue and there's a problem. Secondly, we got to peel back the onion.
Peel back the onion.
You know, peel back the onion. And in that process of peeling back the onion, trust me, if you've ever cooked before and had those raw onions, when you start to slice back the layers of it, the reality is at times it's going to bring a tear to your eye. Sometimes it's going to bring a couple. But I need for my setback survivors to just press on through that and understand that once they've acknowledged the fact that there is an issue and they begin to peel back the layers. So how does that peeling back of the layers take place? And we go a lot deeper in this in our group sessions, in our workshops and seminars.
And even in your personal work, because you work with people personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's definitely an option that's available. But as you're peeling back those layers, you have to remain steadfast, you know, because one of the things that'll easily take place, and something I encountered in my journey back, was when I tried to go up in my head by myself. It was a very painful undertaking. And it wasn't until I realized, okay, let me let down the guards. That's number 3. You got to let down the guards, especially for my guys out there. You know, you can't walk around here with an S on your chest. Ladies are a little more apt to converse and interact, but a lot of my guys, statistics say that there's over 66% of guys that are walking around here suffering in silence. And having been one of those, you know, it's like you got to be willing to be transparent, let your guard down. And then next, you're going to have to incorporate some means to maintain those things that you've admitted to. And so part of the maintenance that I suggest for my clients, for myself even, is prayer and meditation. You know, these are not necessarily in the order of importance, because for me, prayer and meditation is the number 1 key. You know, and so through that process, also add this 5th step, which are affirmations. What the lies that you tell yourself, I always hear people say, the truth will set you free. But the truth can't set you free until you know the lie that's holding you hostage. You know, and so in that process, one has to be really willing to be butt naked honest with themselves. And so for those that are sitting out there that are my setback survivors, that are ready to make that step beyond that current situation, that current trauma, just keep hanging. Don't let go. Hang in there. We got, like I said, 7 total strategies for you to help you through that process. be willing to even come alongside you in your home, your organization, we even have some corporate gigs where people are kind of courting us to be able to come out and provide this curriculum as well. So
now, Ed, I want to go back. Before we got on this set right here, we were having an in-depth discussion. I mean, we're probably a couple of hours past due because we kept talking.
Exactly.
But one of the things I want to go back to what you said, because this was enlightening for me. I interview people so that I learn. Right. So I'm getting it from the source. But you talked about having a mental spice rack. And I was like, what? Listen to this. He said, Ruben, you got to have a mental spice rack. I said, well, what do you mean by that? He said, well, if you think about cooking, he said, you got paprika, you may have parsley, you may have cinnamon, you may have all this stuff, and you don't need it all the time.
Not all the time.
He said, but when you need it, it's there.
It's there.
You can open up the cabinet, you can open up the spice rack and pull it out. But Ed said you got to have a mental spice rack. He said that there's going to be times when you're working on something in your mind, he said cooking in your mind, and you got to have that song that brings you to power. You got to have that scripture that you can look up right then. You got to have that favorite quote. You got to have that favorite candle that'll take you away. He said you have to have a mental spice rack.
Gotta have it.
And this is the crazy thing. That's the first time in my life, 47 years, the first time I've ever heard somebody say that. So I just admire the stuff that you share with the listeners. I just had to throw that in because he was really dealing with some stuff with me, giving me some little personal coaching. That's what he does. So I asked him, but I said, I got to share that. Some things you hear just is so good you have to share. That's the R in the rebound strategy. Tell it to him one more time.
R is the 5 steps to that. First of all, you got to admit that there's an issue.
Yeah.
Be willing to be totally transparent.
Yeah.
And peel back the layers of
the onion. Yes.
You got to peel it back. You got to also be willing to totally let your guard down. Yeah. Because there's pride that comes into play for sure. Yeah. But as you're going through that rebound from setback, it's gonna be tough. Yeah. At times there could be some difficulty. So you gotta be willing to let the guard down. Yeah. Always got to have some prayer and meditation in the mix because, like you said, with that spice rack, you never know when you might need a dash of humility. Oh, when you might need a little sprinkle of understanding. When you might need a little bit of sprinkling of compassion. For yourself. You might need a little bit of might need a spoonful of that forgiveness of self. A spoonful of, and I'm talking that's forgiveness. Yeah. That spoonful of forgiveness of self is probably one of the most difficult things that'll take place during the midst of that. And then you got to let go of, the lies that you've told yourself in the past. I can't do it. I can't. Because I'm reminded of a quote as we close out that Henry Ford says, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're probably right. Yeah, you're right. And so if you got that spice rack available to you to be able to pick and choose, and sometimes you may even have to go borrow it from a neighbor. Right. Might have to go get a couple of encouragement from the neighbor. Yeah, a couple of shots of encouragement.
We'll be back. First strategy, reinvent yourself. 5 steps. We're looking for the rebound.
If you've been sitting waiting for the answer, if you've been sitting waiting for something that you can get your teeth into and begin to execute on right now, use what's left as it. 21 days or less, and I guarantee you'll begin to see a difference in your life. So what you waiting on? Go ahead, text Rebound to 555-888 and not only get your copy of Use What's Left, but also get bonus access, which is normally valued at $97. But because we want to make certain that you have everything you need to optimize your rebound, we're going to give you access to the Live Your Best Life video library as well. So go ahead, act today, and watch a rebound take place tomorrow. Peace and blessings until we connect with you again. And thank you so much for supporting and following Use What's Left.